We are back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. I've got so many letters and phone calls and Facebooks and messages about the new Beyond Tangy Tangerine. And I thought to myself, who would know more about the stuff than the guy who formulates the products? And so I gave my friend Richard Renton a call. Richard Renton is the guy behind all the longevity products. He's a friend of mine. He's a brilliant chemist, brilliant formulator, and he knows all about the BTT. Welcome to the bright side, Richard. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm so glad to be on with you today.
Thank you. Pleasure to have you on. And let's cut right to the chase. Why Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0?
Well, a lot of it's just the feedback that we get from our customers. You know, the particular challenges they may have, whether they like the flavor. We actually put in 1.0 a great blend of 115 different fruits and vegetables, but we didn't take probably the best consideration that some people may have some allergy issues to some of the fruits. Not very many people have allergy issues with vegetables, and so we were looking at that scenario. We were looking at the scenario that GMO is becoming a bigger and bigger issue, which it should, and we may talk about that in a little bit. And we wanted to start coming out with products that we could certify non-GMO, and that really starts from where we get our fruits and vegetables to make sure that when we get them, that they are certified when we receive them, and then going through the process. The other thing, too, is that, and you know this as well as I do, is that one of the biggest challenges with nutritional products is we can make an absolutely great formula, but if your digestive gut is in poor shape, it's really not going to give you a big bang for the buck, so to speak. So we always thought it was beneficial if we could create a stable probiotic to put that in the product as well to help create a better environment in your duodenum and small intestines and large intestines to absorb the nutrients that we provide. So, you know, feedback from the customer, taking it to the next step, being aware of what's going on, those are all the key things, which is basically feedback from all our customers that we came out with 2.0. Now, the big thing that I always want to emphasize is on this particular area, Steve Wallach, it's not like Microsoft where Windows 8 replaced Windows 7. We are still going to keep the original BTT. It will be there. We have thousands upon thousands of customers that just love the product. We are just offering a second flavor with a little different twist in it for those people that may want to take advantage of it.
What about cost?
Because of the probiotics, because of the certification involved in GMO, typically it's about $3 more a jar. You think about all that. It also has more vitamins in it than 1.0. It's a pretty good value when you look at that. A typical 1 billion culture probiotic inexpensive ones start at $10 a month and go up, and this is just $3 more.
Now, tell me about I noticed the sweetener, RejuvaSweet. I got a couple questions about that. Tell us about RejuvaSweet.
RejuvaSweet is a new sweetener out there. It's derived from non-GMO brown rice. And so it's a patented program out of Canada that we're bringing in and using it as a sweetener. We actually found people that didn't like stevia, for example, and of course we didn't want to use sugar or any of the artificials. But it is basically a rice-based sweetener. It is a plant fiber, oleo, and polysaccharide product.
Now, there's no citrus. You took the citrus sweet out, or is it in addition to the citrus sweet?
No, it's replacing.
And tell us about citrus sweet.
That's the
1.0 sweetener.
That's the 1.0. It's basically derived from orange extracts and orange, and it's a combination of some naturally occurring fructose and orange extract that is put together. There again, it's just what people want. With citrus sweet, that was one of the challenges we had with GMO, getting it certified GMO, so we looked for a different route that would make that certification process easier.
And off the top of your head, do you know, can you tell us about you said there were extra vitamins, there's some extra nutrients in the 2.0. Do you know them off the top of your head? Any of them?
No, but I have the two labels in front of me, and I can say, like in vitamin A, we went from 7,500 IUs to 10,000.
Nice.
Vitamin C, we went from 1,000 milligrams up to 1,250.
Nice.
D3, which has really been in the news a lot lately, especially for people that need help in absorbing their calcium. We went up and not being out in the sun enough. which can have its pluses and its minuses. D3 went from 750 to 1,000 IUs per 2 scoops, and it kind of goes on and on. From there, the B vitamins are still strong in all those situations, but those are probably the main ones that we could talk about. We actually have a little bit more calcium in there as well, a little bit more magnesium.
All right, now, no discussion about the BTT would be complete, and I hope I'm not bombarding you or blindsiding you with this question. Can you tell us about this whole idea about minerals and about colloidal minerals versus toxic minerals and industrial minerals? And that question seems to come up all the time, and it's all over the Internet. Can you clear this thing up for us as the formulator of the product?
Well, sure. You know, you can go to your library and you can go look for a book called a Merck Index. It's kind of not using the word poorly, but it's kind of like the chemist's Bible out there. It shows all chemical compounds exist that we know of, and it's bigger than New York City's telephone book, I think.
Right.
But you know, there's lots of different ingredients out there. So here we go. We have to remember that a plant absorbs everything from the ground. All its minerals it gets from the soil it's in contact with, and helps it grow. Now, one of the advantages of plant-derived minerals is during that process, when the plant secretes enzymes and whatnot and breaks down these minerals, it takes the average size cluster and just breaks it way, way, way down, where it may be 500 molecules involved. It breaks it down to 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. And so it makes it extremely easy to absorb it. Now, the humic shale deposit that we get in southern Utah that we have proprietary for human consumption, it's been tested, and most of it is bounded with sulfur. And it's not like a lot of people call me up and say there's sulfur in your product. I'm allergic to sulfur drugs. Well, just because you're allergic to the sulfur drug doesn't mean you're allergic to sulfur. In fact, you have to have sulfur. It's the rest of that compound that you have allergy effects to. But in these plant-derived minerals, they're in such a simplistic state, in an organic state, that they don't store in fatty tissues like toxic metals. In fact, Dr. Schrauser, who is on our scientific board and is a professor emeritus for University of California down in San Diego, he's actually done studies showing that if you take a consumption of 250 micrograms or so of selenium over an extended period of time, your body will actually detox from heavy metals. So if you have concerns because of lead, if you have concerns because of arsenic in your system, one of the ways to overcome that, according to Dr. Schrauser, is by taking selenium on a daily basis. And I know you and I both have listened to Dr. Schrauser teach us many things over the years, and he's an incredible individual, and I respect the man highly. The other thing that I'll say about it is that a lot of people, when they talk about absorption of minerals, they talk about colloidal and chelated and all these terminologies, and a lot of them are just, unfortunately, sales pitch. Or people are talking about it without really knowing the definition. Colloidal means suspended in a liquid. Well, you know, I've always taught that concrete with rocks in it is technically colloidal when it's in a liquid state because it's suspending solid material in a liquid state. Ionic means by same charge. And so is plant-derived minerals colloidal when it's in a liquid state? Yes. They are. Is it ionic? Yes, because it's all the same electrical charge. But it's really the size of the cluster that makes all the difference. And so when you look at our labels, you'll see that we have certified organic trace mineral powder, and that's our powder blend out of Utah that we put in there, and it's in both the products. And we've been putting this product in ever since conception, which I think 17 years ago, have never had an adverse event with our colloidal minerals. In fact, we haven't had an adverse event that we've had to report to the FDA. I wish the drug companies could say that.
Right.
But, you know, I'm very, very proud of it. Is there lead in it? Yes, it's parts per billion. And, you know, when you talk about toxicity, you always have to talk about how much is your exposure, because I can tell you in all faith that almost every single calcium product out there has maybe 1 part per billion or 0.5 parts per billion of lead in calcium, because Mother Nature just likes the two to be together, and they're there. We're one of the exceptional companies that actually tell you what's in the product.
Thank you so much, Richard Renton. We're out of time, buddy. I appreciate you coming on and clearing some of that stuff up. We'll talk to you again soon, Richard. Thank you so much, bro.